Today we're taking a look at these NCAAB matches, which are happening on Monday, November 21st, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Louisiana Tech Bulldogs vs Monroe Warhawks. Last season LA Tech beat Monroe 96-74 as a 16.5-point favorite and led by 20 points at the half in that game. Although the rosters are not exactly the same this season, the Bulldogs still have substantially more talent back. Louisiana Tech has too much offensive firepower that I can't see Monroe keeping up with. The Bulldogs should win this game by at least 15 points. Take Tech minus 13.5 points. Monroe has an adjusted offensive efficiency of 95.8, which is ranked 289th, while they have an adjusted tempo of 72.3, 59th. Louisiana Tech has an adjusted offensive efficiency of 103.3, 127th, and an adjusted tempo of 70.8, 118th. Both of these teams are on the middle part of the tempo scale, so they can score above about 60 points within 40 minutes. I don't see the Bulldogs allowing the Warhawks to score very many points, so adding that with their mid-tier tempo, I expect the under to be appropriate. The Bulldogs will be able to pull ahead of the Warhawks, but they don't shoot from deep very well and drive to the basket, so I don't expect a ton of points. Take the under, 146 points. Syracuse vs Richmond. The Syracuse Orangemen, 2-1-2-1-0 ATS, defeated the Northeastern Huskies on Saturday, 76-48, giving head coach Jim Boeheim his 1,000th career coaching victory. Syracuse held Northeastern to 32.2% shooting, as the Huskies struggled from the free throw line as well, going 2-13. The Orangemen were not much better from the charity stripe, hitting 54.5% of their shots, but hit 53.3% from the field. Syracuse held a 14-point lead at the half. The Richmond Spiders, 2-2-2-2-0 ATS, found themselves trailing by 9 to the Wichita State Shockers entering the half, then put on a feverish rally in the second, but fell short in a 56-53 loss. The Spiders had an abysmal first half, as 17 of their 26 shots were from beyond the arc, but the club hit just 3 of those attempts, shooting 30.8% overall in the half. Isaiah Bigelow recorded a double-double, scoring 16 points and adding 11 rebounds. He finished 5-14 shooting, including 3-10 from three-point range. Tyler Burton chipped in 15 points and 8 rebounds. Richmond is one of the better defensive teams in college basketball, 85th in points allowed per game, 62.8, and 35th in opponent field goal percentage, 35.9%. Matt Grace, knee, and Connor Crabtree, finger, will be out for this contest. Syracuse comes in as the favorite, and this should be a very entertaining contest. Both clubs have suffered surprising defeats early on, with the Orangemen falling to Colgate on November 15th, while Richmond lost to Charleston. More is expected out of these teams, but neither is living up to expectations so far. The Orangemen enter as the far superior offensive team. They are shooting the ball well from all areas of the court, especially from three-point range where they are hitting 39.2% of their attempts. They have also been great from the free throw line, connecting on 73.7% of their attempts. Richmond is hitting on 71.8% of their free throws, but a close contest like this could very well come down to three-point and free throw shooting success, and this is why Syracuse looks to be the team coming away with a victory. Take the Syracuse Orangemen at minus 3.5 points. The Syracuse Orange have to be scoring the ball a little bit better than average, as they are putting up 78 points per game up to this point, while shooting an outstanding 48.6% from the field. They would benefit from passing a bit more as they are averaging 11.7 assists per game thus far. Senior guard Joseph Girard III has been leading the program as he is averaging 18 points, 2 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and 1 steal per game while on the court for 28.3 minutes per game thus far. The Richmond Spiders have a solid program all around, and their offensive production has done pretty well as they are scoring 70 points per game while shooting 43.2% as a squad. They need to be able to play less isolation and pass the ball better as they are averaging 12.3 assists per game thus far. Senior forward Tyler Burton is playing extremely well as he is averaging 19 points, 8.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 0.5 blocks, and 0.5 steals in 34 minutes per game up to this point. Both programs are both playing a little more methodically than you'd expect, as the Orange is 178th in the sport with 72.1 possessions per game this season, while the Spiders are 264th in the country with 69.7 possessions per game thus far. Shooting the free throws are important, but neither team is doing well, as Richmond is 156th with a 71.8 percentage, while Syracuse is 109th with a 73.7 free throw percentage. The under has hit in 13 of the last 18 Orange games, following a ATS win, as well as being 17-5-1 in the previous 23 Spiders games as well, so go with the under 138.5 points here. Kansas State vs Rhode Island. The Rhode Island Rams season hasn't gotten off to the start they wanted after losing each of their first 2 home games, before bouncing back with a win over Stony Brook on Tuesday night, 74-64. It marked the first win at Rhode Island for new coach Archie Miller. Ishmael Leggett led the way with 18 points to go along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Freshman Lewis Hutchinson had a career game, scoring 15 points on a solid 6-0 F8 shooting. The Rams shot 44% from the field and had 18 assists on 25 field goals in the game. Defensively, Uri limited Stony Brook to 37% shooting and just 18% from long range. The Kansas State Wildcats are anxious to get back to the NCAA tournament this season and make some noise as they did 2 seasons ago. The Wildcats have started out in the right direction with 3 straight wins to start the season. In their last game, the Wildcats downed Kansas City 69-53 on Thursday night. Keontae Johnson led the way with 19 points and was one of 3 Wildcats in double figures for the game. Johnson was all over the stat sheet with 7 rebounds, 6 assists and 2 steals. Cam Carter chipped in with 16 points, and Desi Sills added 11 points off the bench. For the 3rd straight game, the Wildcats forced over 20 turnovers, this time turning 22 turnovers into 22 points. It is the first time since 2019-20 that the Wildcats have started 3-0. This will certainly be a learning experience for Uri battling a K-State team that gets after it on the defensive end and causes turnovers. Uri, for their part, turns the ball over 17 times a game, which doesn't bode well against a Wildcats team that averages 23 forced turnovers per game. They will turn those mishaps into points, and this one could get ugly early. Uri started with the 300th ranked strength of schedule and still only managed to go 1-2 in that period. Kansas State will cruise to an easy first round win over the Rams. Take Kansas State minus 8.5 points. The Rams are averaging 67.3 points per game against some lower-tier competitors. The Cougars are averaging 75 points per game, but they dropped 93 in their opener over inferior Utah Rio Grande Valley. So those numbers are both maybe a little inflated in comparison to how this one will play out. Rhode Island won't put up their average against a defense of K-State's caliber. So, both teams go under their averages in this one, and we hit the under for the total. Take the under, 134 points.